E3 has begun, and the biggest day is tomorrow. Nintendo's Direct is now hours away, like a few hours. It's the middle of the night for most of you, or early morning right before the big presentation. And honestly, at this point, after all the trials and tribulations, and I'm talking the Microsoft press conference, I'm talking the Ubisoft press conference, I'm talking your flight here. It took Gabe 2 days to get here, getting stuck on tarmacs,
on an airplane,
sleeping in airports. But we're finally here, and we're ready for Nintendo to basically save the day.
Oh, man. Zach, if they don't save the day...
It's going to be a very weird E3.
Oh,
but
man.
So much is still ahead of us. We have all of the Animal Crossing hype to hopefully finally pay off. We have Luigi's Mansion 3 getting its big debut and reveal. Yes. Link's Awakening, we'll definitely get more of that. Pokemon Sword and Shield, probably some new cool stuff there as well. And then the surprises. Now, I think that's where we should start, because we've seen this rumor kind of floating around about a new 2D Metroid, as well as a WarioWare. Now, this stems from Vergaben, who many of you probably know as a reputable leaker who knew a lot about last year's show. He knew about Ridley, and he's called things ever since.
But people also say that he gets things wrong, so I just want to throw that out there.
Sure. I mean, everything... Yeah. Any rumor leaks with a grain of salt. Although this year, I'd say...
Man, the leakers are so spot on that they're getting cease and
except Nintendo, right? That was completely, Is that what you're going to say? That,
yeah, well, there was a cease and desist letter.
Yeah, that was completely cutting off any Nintendo thing, which I kind of like. I like that we're going into tomorrow morning with some surprise, and what could they do? So, Metroid and WarioWare, I think both of them probably are in production. I think WarioWare is not happening. Gold just came out. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's too close. But could Metroid be the surprise extra title that's included with all of these already known quantities?
I mean, we've heard leaks from people that have been writing an awful lot mention just Metroid, and they don't get into specifics. True. We don't know if it's Metroid Prime 4. There's rumors of a 2D Metroid, which would be...
It's not Metroid Prime 4. Let's clarify that.
No, there's been scuttlebutt that it's going to be Metroid Prime 4, yes, but no gameplay. It's
just like an update.
Yeah, okay. It's art, stuff like that.
Yeah. 2D Metroid, though, does that do it for you?
Yes. I
love the idea of 2D Metroid, but if it's replacing the potential for Pikmin 4, or if it's replacing the potential for one of the other surprise games we've talked about, obviously I think I'd rather have something a bit bolder.
Yeah. I think a 2D Metroid is pretty bold, right? Because then you have to presume it's not full price. You have to presume it's a smaller...
You think? I mean, they're looking at $60 for Link's Awakening.
Let's talk about prices on eShops for a second. Yeah. We now know 100% that Cadence of Hyrule is $25 on eShop. That is an expensive eShop game.
That is a pricey price. Remember when SteamWorld Quest hit $25? We were like, wow, that's more than all of the past SteamWorld games, and it feels like it's definitely crunching the wall.
There's a Zelda premium there.
Oh, absolutely. Because you can go grab Crimson Necrodancer. We've seen that on sale in the single digits.
Yeah.
And so for this to be $25, that feels like a Nintendo tax. We talk about the Switch tax. This is just a straight up Nintendo tax.
But
so
if it's a good, big experience the way I expect it to, because Crypt isn't short, and then they supported that game very well.
And I think they know people are going to buy it. It's going to be an E3 Direct drop. There's a lot of enthusiasm, hype.
Right? Okay, 100%?
I think it has to happen tomorrow. Okay. That makes perfect sense. Now we know the price. It's all coming together, so it's ready to launch. Fortnite was the big deal last year, which was free, and they did have Hollow Knight. Yeah. But 25, I don't know. That feels like a lot. So if Cadence of Hyrule is 25, there's no way Metroid is anything less than 60. Even if they do a 2D Metroid, it has to be at that point.
No.
A longer, bigger game straight from Nintendo?
I think that Nintendo's really good at doing not $60 games that are still expensive.
What have they done?
Not this generation, but Donkey Kong was something that was $50.
Now $60.
Yeah, okay. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, again, something that wasn't $60 originally. Stuff like that. More that. I'm not thinking $20. I'm thinking $40.
I think you put Samus on a box, and I think you charge $60 no matter what.
I don't know that Samus has ever sold well enough to be able to justify that.
Do you think we're even discussing price of this tomorrow? Because do you think it happens? No?
I think we see zero Metroid tomorrow.
I'm worried. I feel like it's going to be a thing. And I guess I shouldn't be worried. It's only because the Pikmin lover in me is hoping that is the big reveal. So let's talk about that. What do we think are going to be the final big reveals? Let's give our final predictions. Mere hours till the show. We're going to be proven right or wrong. We've thrown a lot out there. People, of course, are throwing a lot out there around the internet. We know the big ones. Let's just save those. What is going to be revealed tomorrow?
I think there's a solid chance we get a Pikmin reveal. I think there's a really, really solid chance. Yeah. I think this might be the year. I
would be so happy.
This might be the year.
To me, it's like Nintendo can really easily win this E3 and save it with one or two surprise announcements, because their already established lineup is stronger than anyone else for 2019.
Yeah.
And all they need is like one cool thing. So if they give us a Strikers 3, if they give us a Metroid, a Metroid.
Sure.
If they give us your Call of Pikmin, that will be enough. I'm going to say that this E3 has gone in a very disappointing fashion. And I worry that we continue that trend and we don't get Pikmin again. You know, Splinter Cell has been talked about forever. What if
Switch exclusive Splinter Cell?
No.
I'm joking.
What if Pikmin is in the same boat as Splinter Cell, where it's talked about ad nauseum over the internet, but the company itself isn't really doing a whole lot?
Or they're working on. I mean,
for way off the distance. I have this just weird inkling that we're going to get a Wii U port, and that's going to be our surprise. Whether it's Wonderful 101, yeah, or even perhaps Pikmin 3.
That counts.
To me, the worst case scenario for
we get Pikmin 3
is that they say Pikmin is coming to Switch, and it's Pikmin 3. I love that game so much. I would replay it, but like the moment of like insane rise when they say that Pikmin is coming, and then it's the Wii U port for $60. That would be a struggle. I still have this sneaking suspicion that Mario Kart is going to be a part of this.
Can we talk about that? The thing we saw earlier.
We did see a very weird.
I don't think this is real at all. But go ahead.
No, but we did see a very weird rumor that coupled together some known quantities. Specifically, they were talking about Adventure Time and Brawlhalla, but they could have been pulling this from other places. And it did mention a new Mario Kart being revealed.
All Stars, right?
Yeah, which sounds like a crazy concept. It's basically the Smash Brothers of Mario Kart, which. Where else do they go after 8 Deluxe? That would be a viable path.
That's the only thing I can think of. You bring in everybody.
I've had that dream.
Like Star Fox.
Like the literal dream.
Oh, yeah.
Like a month ago that Mario Kart was going to be revealed at E3. I'm gonna throw my chip down so that if it happens, I called it Mario Kart 9 tomorrow.
Okay, sure, but it's not everybody's in it, right? Like, because by what we mean All Stars, in case no one saw this rumor,
like Smash, like so it has Captain Falcon, Pac-Man,
yeah,
Duck Hunt Dog, characters like that. I don't think that's happening, but I do think there will be more inclusion. No matter when Mario Kart release, I think there'll be more inclusion.
I don't
so
think
we have Inkling, Link. Yeah. I think we have Isabelle. We get more.
I think there's no chance we see Mario Kart tomorrow.
Okay.
I really feel like 8 Deluxe is still selling so well. Like, why would they do this? Why would they just like cannibalize that game like that? I see no reason for Nintendo to do that. I think that 2D Metroid is more likely than that.
Okay.
And so I mean. We'll have to see. One of the other things that I want to talk about, Zach, it's not very game specific, the disappointment of everything so far. Because Ubisoft, right? They had the press conference, and say what you will about the press conference, whether you like that they are basically just updating games that they already have out. Cool. Right. They announced some cool stuff. You really like the Champions game, right?
Roller Champions. If
apparently that's confirmed for Switch now. It keeps going back and forth, honestly.
Right. They're like, we've seen reports that like, it's confirmed for all platforms. To no, they haven't committed to anything besides PC. But I will say that game is super fun. It's a goofy fun time. I think it's one that will not sell well.
What?
Or not download well.
I think
it's free to play.
If it sells,
it's free to play.
No.
Yeah.
Is it?
That was the indication that I got, that it is a free-to-play game. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Again, the back and forth with that has been weird.
Yeah.
But it is really fun. I think it's just a really tough sell because roller derby and skating in circles seems very boring, but it is much more similar to it's much more similar to Rocket League than you think, and it has really, really solid. Like the decisions they made gameplay-wise are really solid, and it creates for some intense action. I pray that reaches Switch.
I think it does.
Hardly anything else did.
I think it does. I think the art style really lends itself to it. I don't think we have anything to worry about as far as that go. And I believe you. Like this game,
it's crisp though. It does look okay.
Yeah, you were playing on PC.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I wish I was at home so I could play. I don't have a PC with me. Like, we're in LA. Well, I mean, sure.
We got a laptop.
Sure, I might give that a go. But I'm super excited by the positive word of mouth because you're not the only one saying that it's really good. That just seems to be the consensus right now. But okay, a little sidetrack there, but it's been disappointing in general because other than Monsters and Gods, like
Gods and Monsters,
Breath of
the Wild 1.5.
Sure, Breath of the Wild with mythology, I guess.
God of War versus the Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, like there's been so little like Switch presence.
Bethesda, we knew the established Doom Eternal and Wolfenstein Youngblood, which are still great. They look awesome.
Youngblood so soon.
Yeah, but nothing else is. We're still somehow having a complete dearth of either exclusive games or the port. I mean, like the EA thing, and we'll touch on this probably in a later video. But EA giving us a nerfed version of FIFA 20 3 years in is so sad, and still not bringing Madden. And really, where is the commitment to delivering on this platform? These companies so often talk about the success of the Switch. They love the Switch. No, they don't.
I think they do.
But 35 million consoles is not enough for them to dedicate a game or even a port in some cases.
I mean, to be blunt, we're disappointed, right? But by the Switch presence right now, like there's some
Square seems like the only company that like committed heavily to
Final
delivering
Fantasy,
Switch.
cool. I'm with that.
Well, that
they did
Oninaki
more.
game.
Yeah, they did more.
They brought Last Remnant. They brought a day drop. To
that was cool. I want to go download it like right now.
Yeah,
like
after we finish.
I'm going to. I want that to be the game I'm playing on the way back from E3. All right, I want to put a number on this. How many things Nintendo wise, big Nintendo
surprises?
Yeah, like do you think we get 2? Really? I'm happy if we get 1. I think we know everything.
I think
it's a 40-minute show.
There's one more game for this year, and I think there's something that's a little farther off.
What's the little further off game?
Mario Kart.
No way.
I think we get the Mario Kart tease.
If you somehow speak this into existence, Zach.
I think it's going to be... Now I'm believing it's 2D Metroid. This year is the extra edition. Because if it is... I still think it's 60. But regardless of the price, the kind of game it is could slide into the lineup. My dream is that we get Pikmin 4 and or Strikers or Golf. I'm not really high on this Mario Golf idea. I don't know that it happens.
I told you about it.
But I'm really high on that idea. I think it'd be awesome. You got Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I don't know that you stack up a sports game against that in any way. I feel like they've got that covered for better or worse.
You think that covers it?
For better or worse.
Who's publishing that? That's still Sega, right?
Yeah, but it's still Mario in a sports setting, and I feel like anything you do golf, Strikers-wise, will compete. But I do think, just like Super Mario Party last year, that there's got to be a game that is going to have a quick hype to, like, a reveal to launch cycle, and it's probably that 2D Metroid. But I'd love it to be Pikmin 4.
I would love for it to just be golf, I guess, because I don't think Strikers is happening, man.
You're into golf now.
Yeah, I went
for the first time.
Yeah, I went.
Gabe's a golfer.
I went golfing for the first time. Not real golf, but close enough. It's real golf.
It wasn't mini golf.
It was not mini golf.
It was a driving range.
Yeah, I went to a driving range, and I'm terrible at it. We have video of that.
As we should be airing instead right now.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers. So there was the whole Microsoft thing, but let's note, because we haven't talked about it yet with you guys, Microsoft in their where to be at E3 list the Nintendo press conference. So do we think that is Banjo? Mm-mm. Do you think that's Ori 1 coming to Switch?
Mm-hmm. I think it's Ori, or maybe a little bit more of some Minecraft showing. Like, we know Minecraft Dungeon is coming.
That game actually looks good.
It does.
Honestly, of all the things that have thus far been announced for Switch, that's the one I'm most excited for, which is part of the huge disappointment. Like,
not Monsters?
Nothing. I don't know what that game is.
It's Breath of the Wild.
Is it?
Yes.
We have no idea what you do.
It really looks like
Breath of the Wild. Combat? Is there like crafting? Is there exploration?
I don't think Banjo's coming.
Did you know that Gods and Monsters is a $60 game?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the pre-order page.
I'm sold on Banjo.
I don't think it's happening.
I still think we get 2 characters.
I think we're getting Erdrick.
I think it's Erdrick and it's Banjo.
Yeah.
But Microsoft will have some presence of some kind. And to me, they've talked about we have more in the works. I think it's more than Minecraft Dungeons, because that is Microsoft, but to me they've indicated that there's a more direct partnership. And so I really buy into the Ori and the Blind Forest 1, especially since Ori 2 is 2020.
Yeah. Let me ask you this though. This kind of disappeared as far as like the rumor goes, but how do you feel about Game Pass of some kind?
No. I don't think there's any way you make it work. What games would you include? It would be such a limited offering.
Yeah, it would have to be.
What could work on Switch?
Ori. I mean, there's other stuff.
You get Cuphead and Ori for $1.
No, there's other stuff.
Indie stuff. Yeah. I think that digs into Nintendo's indie scene that they're trying to establish and have established on the eShop. I don't think Game Pass is there at all.
Really?
I think Microsoft is going to bring Ori and the Blind Forest to Switch like they did with Cuphead, and they're going to bring, in some level, they are responsible for Banjo being incorporated.
I don't think we're seeing Banjo at all, man.
Everyone is still sold on that. Everyone is still sold on Banjo.
I hope I'm wrong. I really do.
I think that's a great get. If that was not leaked or discussed, that would be a huge surprise.
That would be.
Because remember how crazy I went when King K. Rool got announced? Because that was, it was anticipated, but it was kept decently under wraps. And now, Banjo's would be such a moment. To me, that's like a Keanu moment for Nintendo. But it's been, people now are like, oh, yep, duh.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a bummer. But that's not Nintendo's fault anyway.
Okay, since we're going to ramp up here soon, but just quick little last predictions. We saw those listings. A couple of accessory listings from Nintendo.
Yep.
Joy-Con. We getting some?
Yes. It's time. We have to.
Pick again.
So we're going to get Joy-Con, I think, for...
Luigi?
No, for Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing Joy-Con. Not Pro Controller.
I think Luigi gets a Pro Controller.
Oh.
I think Luigi, like to me, Luigi is just positioned as that kind of a game that you're going to enjoy with the controller. And then Animal Crossing the Joy-Con, especially since you're playing it on the go, that's going to be a huge emphasis. I think Luigi is meant to be more of a TV game, Animal Crossing more on the go. So, hey, I love accessories. I will buy those immediately. It's going to be interesting because this E3 has shaped up to be a weird one. No Sony, Microsoft saving everything Scarlet for next year, and not a whole lot of third-party sports still. Like, I don't know if we're just like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fool me thrice, fool me 4 times and 5 and 6.
Zach,
like, what are we doing here?
Can we say that if Nintendo doesn't pull through in a big way, this is gonna be like the worst E3 ever?
It will be one of the worst.
For me,
E3s.
in my opinion, one of the worst E3s
now,
ever.
some people would argue, we got a lot more Cyberpunk, you got a lot of Final Fantasy VII remakes.
But we knew these games were coming.
I know. I think people are high on some of the beloved franchises, or
Avengers looks hot. I want to say that's not Switch related, but Avengers looks amazing.
If you're a Switch fan, though, it feels like the rest of the industry doesn't have much for you. Bethesda comes through in the clutch. Oh, Elder Scrolls Legend will drop tomorrow too.
Sure, I don't care.
In the Bethesda video for Elder Scrolls Legend, they're talking about updates. At one point on the person's phone, an alert pops up for the Nintendo Direct.
Oh, okay.
And I think that 100% Elder Scrolls Legends and Cadence, that's the free one, and then Cadence is the paid one.
Some third-party stuff is coming, right? Some stuff that people have been wanting for a while. So, yeah, like that'll be cool.
Yeah, Witcher 3. The only third-party saving grace I will throw out there is Nintendo knows that the third-party support is limited, so maybe they save the big reveals for their show. So perhaps there is something that could have been Ubisoft or Square related.
Tomb Raider's happening, I think.
You think? That comes through this. So maybe we have to like retcon our third party bumming because tomorrow they do bring some stuff out and it's just being saved for Nintendo's presentation.
One last thing.